Good day and welcome to this first edition of Tourismus Namibia. Our normal show will resume as from this Saturday, or today then. And allow me to still express my compliments of the season. I mean, it almost feels as if the year's over already, but anyway, here we are, Tourismus Namibia, going strong again. First up, we obviously have these topics and then we bring you destinations and also to the point. But as you can see on the screen there, my name is Frank Steffen. I'm the editor of Allgemeine Zeitung and obviously responsible for Tourismus Namibia. So let's see what we can bring you this year. First up, we've got topics.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toyvon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Right, welcome back. And first up, today we keep it short and sweet because we're a bit pressed for time. First, we had the Oyster Rally participants that dropped anchor in Lüderitz. So since 9th February last year, the skippers and their teams have been on the high sea now. They started in Antigua in the Caribbean on 25 crews set sail with their Oyster yachts. That's a British luxury sailboat brand, and hence the name, the Oyster Rally. And so they are going to stop at 25 locations around the world. And these cruises will cover around 27,000 nautical miles. The largest yacht has 22.2 meters length. The starting signal was given by the Governor General of Antigua when they left Barbuda. It was Sir Rodney Williams. Now, during their 60-month turn, the yachts will visit Panama, the Galapagos Islands, Bora Bora, Fiji, Mauritius, Durban, Cape Town, and St. Helena. So Lüderitz is not actually one of the stage destinations, but on the way to St. Helena, 4 of the teams decided to drop anchor in Lüderitz. Obviously, this is Lüderitz Bucht in German. And as the adventure sailors testify, the stop was more than worth it. And they actually plan on indicating that it should be added as one of the destinations of the whole rally. So it would be nice if that can happen to us more regularly. Yeah, and that's the Oyster Rally that was during the past week or earlier. And then up next, we've got the Tambula Online Market. This is a new development, something that we haven't seen before, but Yolanda Nell attended the launch of the Tambula Online Market. The team aims to give local artisans a platform to showcase their craft and innovations while connecting the public to quality Namibian products. She actually spoke to them. Have a look at the interview.
I am Zandra. I'm the marketing manager at Impact Tank. And as we're all aware, there are several limitations that are within the informal sector. Access to market, funding challenges, as well as restricted business operations. This sector is quite vital because 51% of Namibians earn their livelihood from this sector, contributing to 12% of our GDP. Tambula aims to address this challenge of access to the market for the informal economy, using a digital marketplace that facilitates transactions of goods. Simply, every vendor will have access to their own online storefront that catalyzes digital transformation for their own businesses. In our pilot, we have 10 vendors, 40% of which are women, across 3 regions in Namibia, operating in various industries, namely the arts and crafts, beauty, food and beverage, as well as natural products. We have assembled logistic partners, DHL through NAMPost, to facilitate regional and national delivery, as well as Shomi for last-mile deliveries within Windhoek.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. My name is Etjo, founder of Tambula. Tambula actually comes from the word take, shwang. It's used almost every day. So the idea came about there not being enough shopping spaces for people to rent, especially in the informal market. So the idea was, how can we allow these people to trade and not bear the cost of paying higher rent? Looking at the fourth industrial revolution, how can we provide them a platform to sell goods not only in Namibia, but the rest of the world and Africa and so on. So that's how the idea came about. It started in 2019, end of 2019. By 2020, then COVID hit us. It was actually the perfect time for us to launch and start and learning how the journey went. So from there, we onboarded the informal market with help from the UNDP. So from there, we learned so much about the informal, the challenges, and up to the stage now where we onboarded different vendors and just finding how can we get these raw materials that we have in Namibia and take it to the next level.
Thank you very much for asking. My name is Mavis Elias. I work at Old Mutual Namibia under the Old Mutual Foundation. Today we've been invited by Impact Tank as well as the UNDP for the launch of the Tambula app. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to experience the work that has gone on behind the scenes, but not only that, the coming together of a platform that champions business, and particularly business from the grassroots sector, is absolutely amazing. So I think when we talk about bringing products, especially those of the informal market to the people, this is definitely the solution. So I'm very, very excited to see what they managed to achieve in the time that they do this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that's Tambula Online Market. By the way, you can simply Google them, Tambula, T-A-M-B-U-L-A, Tambula Online Market. Anyway, those are our topics for today. Up next, we've got destinations. Yeah, today we'll only have one destination. The reason is quite simply I felt I had to share a bit of an experience that I had during my holiday now. We actually visited Mount Etjo. Now, if you look at these maps that I give you, you've got the Mount Etjo Safari Lodge, very upmarket, very, very nice. But then further up the road, you've got the Dinosaur camp, and we actually opted for the Dinosaur camp. But like I said, it's all a case of what you prefer. Mount Etjo Safari Lodge, a very nice place to go to, very nicely set up. We opted for the Dinosaur camp because we were allowed to take our dogs along. And so we really enjoyed our stay there. Very nice place. If you look at the next photos, you will see this is how it is offered on the internet site. But at the end of the day, it's all a matter of choice. And we decided, no, we need our dogs. That's why we went for the alternative, where you went to the dinosaur footprints and all those areas. We were right next to it in terms of going to the camp. The camp is very nicely set up. I said this is where we went in the morning now. We went for a game drive, very nice and early, very cold, in fact, even though it was summer. And then we stumbled across one game sort of to the other. This rhino wasn't impressed with us shunting it around. Here they stopped for each and everything, and they're actually hunting out these animals. So we obviously saw springbok, zebras here in the photo you can see. We saw wildebeest, anything that you can think of. And at one stage we couldn't get to elephant yet. And so this is where we looked at, we stumbled across this elephant, and he was taking a nice little mud bath. And it was a loner, that's why we had to be sure to keep our distance. But as you can see, it was not that far. I would judge him to be about 40 meters away from the vehicle, sometimes even closer. And he was just carrying on, and the driver knew exactly when to carry on and sort of keep some distance, because obviously learners, you don't want to disturb too much. Now, we as a family went on different game drives for the simple reason that one always had to look after the dogs, but that wasn't much of a concern. We really had a good time. Like I said, the drivers take you to the animals, and they don't give up, you know. This was, my wife had the luck that she joined the group that actually stumbled across lions that had killed the day before, and they were still feeding on a giraffe, or were actually so fully fed up like this one that they were just resting right next to the vehicle. This is as in no more than 4 or 5 meters away. And so this was quite a nice experience, and the lion was running around there growling and telling them, roaring, telling his mates to come and so on. So it was quite a nice experience. And in the evening, we actually went for a lion feed. They don't do that, you know, on a too big scale, but still it was quite impressive with this male lion basically telling these ones to wait until he's finished, and they were very obedient and shut down. This one was sometimes closing her eyes and then bit by bit shuffling closer. Then he would give her a piece, but please don't come too close. And the same happened again. This chief lioness here in front, she was having a ball, while the others now had to wait their turn. And here you can see, I mean, there's a lot of growling going on. It's a very live moment this year. You can see her, and he's telling her, no, don't come too close. And she was actually hiding in the back of this, as you can see there. And then the others were, the one was going away, and the other one pretended to sleep. But every once in a while, when they don't look, then they would just shove a little bit closer. The lioness here on the left is the one that you saw on the photo that was later just taking a bite or two. And he was clearly not too impressed with her just coming closer and closer all the time. He's a male chauvinist to the largest extent, obviously, but this was really a truly different experience altogether. Now, why do I tell you all this? I can always tell you what is there. And, there should be photos as well of the site where we stayed. But the point that I'm making is sometimes it's not only about the stay, it is about what you experience. Now, if today you don't have a big budget and you can't roam the whole country for various sites where you find these animals, then take something like Mount Etjo and just do a calculation. You might actually be surprised that if you go for a camping option, you might actually like it a lot. We did. We had a proper site here. Here you can see, you can literally put up your tent on this cement slab. There's a nice little bathroom in the back, and it works, I tell you. It's got solar heating. It's got all the stuff that you need. There's a little washing bay, as you can see there on the left-hand side of the building. There's a boma next to it. So this is really beautifully made. They try to keep up some grass lawn at some stages, but most of the time, let's be honest, it's too dry. But this is like overlooking a little dam, and they've got a little place for a watering hole there for the animals as well. So this is very neatly done, and we had a hell of a good time. I wouldn't even call it a low-budget leave, but it was certainly a budget leave. So if you can't afford the big lodges, this might be an alternative that you still want to do, and you can still take part in the game drives, the line feeds. It's reasonably priced, so it's something that I thought I need to share, because we always seem to go for these expensive places. And I felt, no, this one is also for the locals. It's also for the students who come from overseas, who've got a tight budget, but still want to make it count. So here's a little idea. Mount Etjo really is it. And like I said, if you have a bit more money to spend, well, then you go to the lodge. In our case, the lodge was out of question, because that's where you cannot take your dogs along, whereas in the camping sites we could. So that's our only destination today, and the reason is quite simply that we've got quite a longish to the point contribution, but that's coming up next.
NMH at 1 brings you news from all corners of Namibia. NMH at 1 aims to reach viewers countrywide who are interested in current affairs in a short and sweet format. This show is broadcasted on NTV, oneup2.com and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: The Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, Namibia Media Holdings, Irongo, and Vindic Express. To share your news or advertise on this platform, contact NMH1 at synergy.com.na. NMH at 1, your lunchtime news companion.
Right, welcome back once more, and to the point it is. This time it's about the Africa Millimetre Telescope. Now, Yolanda Nell has been very busy, a colleague of mine, and she offered me this contribution. She said she talked to a group of scientists from UNAM and also with people from abroad after the planned Africa Millimetre Telescope project received funding by the end of last year. So this will mean a direct investment of funds into Namibia. The nice thing about it is it's obviously all part of our bigger planetary observation point that we've got outside Windhoek. But what's interesting about it, they're now investing much more, and a huge part of that investment is actually a local investment. But have a look at the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I have a full studio in today with Professor Michael Bacchus and Lot Frans from UNAM, and online we have Dr. Mark Kleinwald from the AMT project. And today we will be talking about astronomy, the Africa Millimetre Telescope, as well as the mobile planetarium. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So we are just going to jump right in. Dr. Wald, can you quickly tell us what the AMT is all about?
Yeah, sure. Good morning. The AMT is a project that aims to put a telescope in Namibia near the Gamsberg Mountain. A telescope that is the size of, let's say, 15 meter size dish, that is sensitive for radio waves coming from the universe at wavelengths of millimeters. And this telescope is we aim to connect to up to 8 or more telescopes around the globe to make images of black holes. So this is the essential thing that we want to do in Namibia.
Professor Bacchus, why was Namibia specifically chosen as the best destination?
Well, for the Event Horizon Telescope, you know that distributed telescopes around the globe are needed to build up a virtual telescope as large as the Earth. And there's a big gap in this network, and this is right over Africa, and particularly in the southern African region. And Namibia is blessed with very good conditions for doing astronomy from here, and this is how it came up.
Mr. Frans, as a Namibian, how does it feel to be part of this international team?
I'm definitely excited to be part of this major international project. It offers me the platform to advance my studies, offers me the platform to gain new skills, new knowledge, and definitely build on my development as a young astronomer.
And you are also busy with your PhD currently. How does it feel for you knowing that this project is actually taking place in Namibia?
It's just a dream come true. I mean, if you are a young scientist, this is what you envision yourself to be in this position. So yes, I'm very excited to do my studies in this field.
Professor Bacchus, the team applied for funding and you were awarded 14 million euros. What will the funds be used for?
Well, first of all, let me very briefly explain the whole situation. So the funds were applied for by 3 main groups, Professor Heino Falke at Radboud University, Professor Sarah Markov at the University of Amsterdam,
and Professor Rob Fender from Oxford University. And together with those main applicants, there were a colleague, Elena Limfors from the University of Turku, and me here from the University of Namibia. And this whole group altogether was awarded this 14 million euro. For Namibia, that means there is something like 3 million euro that will be direct investment to the AMT project, as well as half of a senior scientist position, 2 PhD positions, as well as 4 master's positions here at the University of Namibia. And the whole project is, well, not just about the AMT, but it's centered around the Africa Millimetre Telescope, as it tries to understand black holes from the very smallest ones to the very largest ones at the very different scales.
Thank you. Dr. Volt, when are you planning to start setting up the AMT, and will the funding help fast-track this project?
Yeah, the funding definitely helps fast-track this project. Essentially, we are now starting this, right? Because we have been trying to gather all the money to build this telescope in Namibia, and that is not an easy task to do. But with the money, as my colleague just explained, that goes to a lot of the science that we will do with this telescope, but also as an investment into the telescope itself, we are now ready to go. That's basically the situation we are now at. Now, if you ask me when we start building, I would say yesterday, but that's impossible. So we are now making sure that the project has all the right people in place, all the right contracts in place and agreements. And we are also one important thing that we're doing right now is selecting the actual site where we put the telescope. And that study is still ongoing, and we're hoping to have an outcome of that in, let's say, a couple of months from now. And then we need to finalize our complete design, and that will probably happen towards this year. And then actual construction would start after that. So that would be as early as next year, if all goes well.
Yes, if all goes well. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with the project. And I will be following you and making sure the news gets to the media.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, interesting stuff. And as we can see, things are happening in Namibia, and they're happening fast. And they'll also be happening on this show very fast, because in this year we've decided to bring our Tourism Expo a bit forward. So we'll be talking a lot about that in the upcoming week or two, especially also on the show, where we want to inform you exactly how it will work. Tourism, the Tourist of the Year competition will be activated in such manner that we can actually put the final winners and announce them during this earlier Tourism Expo. So there's a couple of things, a lot of work for us coming up, but obviously nice work, because we'll be able to bring you interesting news, interesting developments. So as you can see, we're really looking forward to this year. I hope you too, once more, I hope you have a prosperous new year. 2023, may all your wishes come true that haven't come true in the past 3 years, where we've all had a hard time. Tourismus Namibia will certainly aim to bring you as much as possible news out of this country as regards tourism and environment. So for this week, that's it. But next week we'll be back, and it will be a full show again with various destinations and topics. I hope still to have been able to entertain you this morning, and we'll see each other in 7 days' time. Until then, look after yourself, remain well. Bye.